Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back to True Gunners TV. Apologies for the slight lateness. StreamYard is moving like Arsenal in the transfer market at the moment. Slow as fuck. And of course, that is going to be the subject of today's video, the January transfer window. But before we get into all of that, I just want to say, big up, big up, big up, and a massive, massive thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel so far, all the returning subscribers as well, everybody who's viewing the videos. Massive, massive thank you to you all. Without you guys, I'd just be a guy talking into a camera, basically just talking to myself, going a bit deranged. Of course, it's roughly 24 hours ago, we all witnessed the absolute shit show at Nottingham Forest in the third round of the FA Cup that resulted in Arsenal being knocked out for the first time in 26 years at that stage of the competition. Another unwanted record broken by Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Of course, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you head over and check out my reaction to that if you haven't already. However, there is one thing that game yesterday did show us all, and that is that there is still plenty of work to be done at Arsenal in terms of the quality of players that we have in the squad. And this transfer window is definitely an opportunity for us to improve that. So, who could we get in this transfer window? Well, first of all, let's start with what we know. The January transfer window has been open for 10 days now. We have seen a little bit of movement from Arsenal. Not any incoming so far, but there have been outgoings. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has gone to Roma on a season-long loan. And also, it is looking increasingly likely that Balogun will be joining Middlesbrough on loan as well. So, my question to Arsenal is, why are we moving so slow in this transfer market? I know we're only 10 days in, but there's two players there that, okay, they're young, they're on the fringes of the first team. However, we are lacking, and it was clear to see yesterday as well, we are lacking for a decent striker who scores goals. Balogun, I don't think he's ready as of yet, but he does score goals. He has proved that in the under-23s. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I'm not saying he would have changed the game yesterday. Not at all. Not at all. But if you had to choose between Maitland-Niles, Balogun, Maitland-Niles, Lokonga, and Charlie Patino yesterday, Maitland-Niles would have brought a little bit more experience to that midfield position. Maybe we would not have been so open. Maybe we still would. Who knows? But the point being, why are we sending players out without replacing them straight away? I know there's not really been a lot of movement in terms of, big names coming in to other clubs. I mean, the one transfer that you could point out would be Philippe Coutinho to Aston Villa. But it just goes to show, if Aston Villa can get them done, why can Arsenal not get them done? However, there are good signs coming out of Arsenal. Fabricio Romano, we all know Fabricio, the big transfer guru, who, 99% of the time, if not 100% of the time, this guy is in the know when it comes to transfers. And he has said himself that Arsenal are looking for a striker and a midfielder, which is music to my ears. But the question being, why has it not been done yet? We are in an important period of the season. The FA Cup yesterday against Nottingham Forest was the first hurdle. We failed at the first hurdle. The second hurdle comes on Thursday against Liverpool. Yes, a depleted Liverpool side because of COVID. However, it has recently come out that a lot of them were false positives. So no doubt we will see a strong side from Liverpool in the semi-final of a Carabao Cup. And then the big game for me, the big game at the weekend against Tottenham Hotspur, which is ultimately a 6-pointer, because if Spurs beat us, which, is not beyond possibility, because we have such a poor record away against Tottenham. I think the last time we beat them was 2014 at their ground. And yeah, they've had Wembley as well. So we'll include Wembley in that as well. Yeah, the last time we beat them at their ground or away to them in the league, 2014. So it is a very important period for Arsenal. We cannot afford to be lacking areas of the pitch. And with players away at AFCON, some players injured as well, we need reinforcements now. Right now. However, Fabricio Ramirez had this to say on Arsenal's link to 21-year-old striker Dusan Vladimirovic from Fiorentina. He's a Serbian striker. He has a very, 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 very good record as well. This season, he has scored 16 goals and created 2 assists in Serie A for Fiorentina, as well as 2 goals in 2 games in the Coppa Italia. Impressive goal scoring record. And also last season scoring 21 goals in 37 games in Serie A. And £70 million is what is being quoted. However, once again, Fabricio Ramirez had this to say on the links. It is true that Arsenal have approached Fiorentina to negotiate for Vlahovic. The 2 clubs have a good relationship, with Lucas Torreira currently on loan at Fiorentina with a buy option. However, the problem is with Vlahovic and his agent. The player apparently not open to a move to Arsenal in January because he wants to stay at Fiorentina for the rest of the season and then weigh up his options in the summer. So, could this be a deal that could get done later on in the January transfer window? I don't see why not. If Arsenal are willing to spend the big money to get a striker, which, look, we desperately need a striker. I'm not being funny, but Eddie Nketiah, who had an absolute shocker yesterday, is our most prolific striker this season. Eddie Nketiah. And even he looks like he could be on his way out at some point soon as well, having not signed a new contract. And let's be honest, he's just not good enough for Arsenal. He proved that yet again yesterday. Mikel Arteta, when asked about Vlahovic in a press conference, said, with the amount of things and the way we want to evolve the squad, we have to maximize every window in different ways. We are alert. If it's the right player and we can afford it, we will discuss it and make the best possible decision. We are open. So take of that what you will. But ultimately, for me, that is Mikel Arteta confirming that we are in the market for a striker. Strong links to Vlahovic. No real links to any other striker. We know Aubameyang is out of favour, and the chances are he could possibly leave in this window as well. Could that be a deal that get done? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Let me know in the comment section. Another area of the pitch is in central midfield, and there are plenty of players that are being linked to Arsenal for that role. The first player is a young Brazilian, plays for Palmeiras in Brazil. He's 20 years old, and he is very, very highly rated. Actually has a release clause of £86 million. That is how highly rated this guy is. Apparently, Arsenal are looking to try and get him for a cut price, hoping that he will push a move. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. However, is that a deal that could get done? I'm not so sure. I don't really know much about the player, to be honest with you, to even sit here and say whether he'd be a good fit or not. Another player linked with Arsenal is Artur Melo, or Artur Melo, should I say. Yeah, I don't know if I've got that right or not, but I do know this guy. Formerly of Barcelona, very, very talented player. Joined Juventus only last season for a hefty £80 million, but has struggled for game time and seems to have fallen out of favour there as well. Could this be a possibility? A loan deal? He's a very exciting player, very tricky player, very skillful player, and I'm very surprised that he's even being linked with a move away, to be fair. But he has struggled in Serie A. Could he be the answer to our midfield problems? Maybe creative, maybe like in terms of creativity. Not so sure about, filling in for Thomas Partey or Granit Xhaka in the midfield. Another player linked to Arsenal is Gini Wijnaldum. Of course, everybody knows about Gini Wijnaldum. Great player, very, very good player. Once of Newcastle, ends up at Liverpool and was part of their team that secured them the Champions League and the Premier League as well. Left as a free agent, refused to sign a contract and went to France to join PSG. And he has struggled to settle in France. He's played a fair few games, but there are rumours that he is struggling to settle in there and could be open to a move back to the Premier League, even if it is just on the short term. Now, Gini Wijnaldum, for me, although he's 31 years old, he has Premier League experience. He's been there, he's done that, and he's definitely more suited to the role that we are looking to bolster, which is the Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka role. So I'd be open to that, definitely. I don't know about you guys. Again, let me know in the comment section. Gini Wijnaldum. Could Arsenal get Gini Wijnaldum? And also, do you think he would be suited to our midfield if we could secure that deal? And then the final player being linked to Arsenal is this guy here, Bruno Fernandes from Lyon. Also confirmed by Fabricio Ramirez that Arsenal are definitely working to sign a new midfielder. Bruno Fernandes is very appreciated by the Arsenal board. However, he is currently not being discussed as a January target because the deal is too complicated with a €45 million price tag on his head. He also said Artur Melo, who we've just discussed, on loan has been discussed, but no talks have been taken place with Juve. And there are three names on the Arsenal shortlist for a midfielder. Could the other players that I've mentioned be on the shortlist, or will we see another name pop up that we haven't necessarily been linked with just yet? But it is definitely looking likely that Arsenal will be signing a midfielder this summer, this January transfer window, and possibly a striker as well. I definitely think we need both. And to be honest with you, we need them now. You know, not in a week's time. We need them now. So get your fingers out your arse, Arsenal. That was ironic. Mikel Arteta, when asked about signing a midfielder, also confirmed to pretty much the whole world that we are in the market for a midfielder. Obviously, we are going to move and we are going to look for options because we are short in that area, is what Mikel Arteta had to say. Now, any team that, you know, could possibly have a midfielder, you know, on the market, they're going to bump their price up massively. I don't know why he was so open about that. Maybe we've got something in the pipeline. Maybe there is something coming. However, this is Arsenal. We know what Arsenal are like. What's the chances? Nah, I don't think so. But again, let me know, guys, in the comments section. Is there any other midfielder that I haven't mentioned yet that you think would be a good fit for our midfield that is doable and gettable in this January transfer window? I know there's been links with Basuma as well. There was links with Basuma in the summer. But again, let me know in the comments section. Moving on. Let's talk about this. Who needs to be moved on right now? Now, there are plenty of players at Arsenal that still need to be moved on. As I said, you look at that game yesterday, it was a strong enough team we would have thought to beat Nottingham Forest. And, you know, the players that come in that are on the fringes just really didn't do themselves any favours and did not give Mikel Arteta any headaches whatsoever. Eddie Nketiah is one player who I think really, you know, he needs to be moved on right now. He needs to be moved on. He's refusing to sign a contract, as we all know. Yes, he scores goals and he has done in the competition, but yesterday he looked so disinterested. It was unreal. He didn't look like he wanted to be at Arsenal anymore. You know what I mean? And he's a player who, if we move him on now, we might get a little bit of money for him. Not a lot because of his contract situation, but a little bit. Get him moved on. Seriously, Arsenal. Just move him on right now. Another player who could be on his way out in the January transfer window, PierreEmerick Aubameyang. Now, we know he has fallen out of favour massively with Mikel Arteta. There's been a few disciplinary issues and he hasn't played a game since. So he's obviously done something to rock the boat. He's obviously done something to upset Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal board. And it doesn't look like he's going to be playing for Arsenal again. He has been linked with a move to Newcastle, believe it or not. Newcastle struggling at the bottom of the Premier League. They're desperate for players. They're already making hefty moves for players as well. And yeah, Newcastle could be an option for Aubameyang. We know they've got lots of money. They was taken over by the Saudi Arabians in October. And they're a team that could afford Aubameyang's wages. That transfer would surprise me massively because it'd be a massive step down for Aubameyang. I still think he's got the quality to play for a top team. But with the incentive of the money and the possible hero status, if he keeps Newcastle up, could that be enough to tempt Aubameyang out of Arsenal? Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure we will find out. Another player who I think we could and should maybe possibly move on from is Alexandre Lacazette. Another player who is out of contract. Played all right recently. I'll give him that. But he doesn't score goals. And we need a striker that scores goals. Lacazette, he hasn't ever registered 20 goals in one season for Arsenal in the Premier League. That is how unprolific he is. He's very good at holding the ball up, very good at bringing other players into play. And he's only really recently started to get a decent run in this Arsenal team since Mikel Arteta has been manager. But with him not signing a new contract, and Arsenal, are they going to offer him a new contract? I don't know. Do I think they should? No. I think we should move on from him, and could he be another player who we could move on in this transfer window and maybe get a little bit of money for? Who knows? There are plenty of other players as well, but they're the three in particular that I wanted to sort of point out. Like I said, we haven't really got a striker without Aubameyang, being out of favour. Not really. I mean, even up to that point, he wasn't scoring goals, which is one of the main things of Aubameyang. Aubameyang has always scored lots and lots and lots of goals wherever he's gone up until now. And it looks like he's lost a yard of pace as well. He doesn't look happy. And, without him, Lacazette doesn't score goals. Eddie Nketiah is just not the answer. He's not good enough. Balogun is not ready. He's going out on loan. We need a striker. So far this season, we have managed to get away with it because our midfielders have been scoring goals. Something that Arsenal fans have been crying out for the past 2-3 years is midfielders scoring goals. Now, all of a sudden, we've got that in abundance, but we've got a striker or strikers that don't score goals. And ultimately, eventually, we are going to come unstuck. So, get that striker done, Arsenal. Get that midfielder in and get it done now. Because if you do it next week and we lose to Liverpool and we lose to Tottenham, ultimately, it's too late. It is too late. And that is, you can pretty much argue the season is done. Because we're out the FA Cup. We failed at the first hurdle. We've got 2 more hurdles to get over. Personally, I don't see us getting over the second hurdle. Liverpool are just a ridiculous side at the moment. Tottenham, it's doable. It's doable. Can we keep our season alive is the question. 2 games, very important. Very, very important. And my biggest worry at the moment is the team that was fielded yesterday is probably one of the strongest sides that we could put out at this moment in time. And we are lacking and we are desperate. So, Arsenal, get them transfers done. We can all remember, we all remember Josh Kroenke.
Be excited.
Well, I'm not excited. I'm not excited. You need to get me excited now. Listen, that's it for today. Big up everybody who's watched. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you to everybody who has, resubscribed. Everybody who is a new subscriber as well. I appreciate the support. Big up yourselves. And as I said, Don't forget to subscribe to True Gunners TV. I'm out, guys.